Hey guys, it's NLD Rants here, and today I thought I would finish up my response to Obama's speech on the Nice terrorist attacks in France, and here we go. And they are succeeding in such, but that's beside the point. Our religion helps keep us strong and safe. I didn't know the United States had any designated religion. I'm pretty sure that's why the founders said separation of church and state. And I really don't believe you can attribute our safety or strength to a religion of any sorts. And this really isn't even a relevant time to bring this up. Yeah, let's not reflect. Let's talk about new plans because clearly what we're doing isn't fucking working. So let's start with something new, maybe? It's been a difficult 8 years, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's a bit clean cut, you could say. I don't really think it's based on people who want to build a common humanity or any of that shit. It's just people who are taking their religion to the extreme. That's really what it boils down to. I don't think it boils down to who cares about civilization or who wants to build institutions for safety. I don't want to build institutions. I think institutions are failing us all around the world. But I guess I'm a little bit confused on his message here. Yeah, and anyone who does that's a dumbass, but nobody, to my knowledge, is doing that on the right or the left, so I don't get what the fuck he's talking about and why he's bringing it up at such a horrid time after these horrid attacks. He's trying to play it off as if people are attacking Muslims directly, but no one's doing that. Everyone's just saying there seems to be a correlation between attacks and Muslims. That's just what people are pointing out. Whether you choose to admit that or not, that's based on what you believe, based on what statistics you've read, but people are just pointing out the correlation. They're not saying that Muslims are lesser than them. And by the way, that moron in the background coughing isn't me or anyone near me. It's some dumbass in the video. See, here's where Obama kind of leaves me astray. I don't get these impulses he's talking about. Is he talking about the impulses to kill people or the impulse to blame a certain religion for things? I'm assuming he's talking about the impulse to kill people and follow their religion here, but that's going to happen regardless of what laws or institutions are formed. He's just pandering to the idea that we can somehow control these maniacs, which is false. We will never be able to stop these terrorist attacks. We can only limit them in number. And anyone who thinks differently is, frankly, in my opinion, just factually wrong. We will never get rid of these terrorist attacks completely. Yeah, working for human dignity and peace is fantastic, but is it working? Clearly not. I mean, there's a disarray around the world. There's people murdering, chopping people's heads off. So I don't get why we should celebrate or talk about what we've done. We should be thinking about what we need to continue doing and what we need to change to fix the failing system we have now that's not preventing shit.
I want to thank so many of your countries for the partnership that we've forged, the progress that we've achieved together over these past 8 years.
More political and country pandering.
Rescuing the global economy and securing vulnerable nuclear materials, a comprehensive deal to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
For 10 years after that, anything goes, but that's beside the point. I'll cover that in a different video.
Halting the spread of Ebola and thereby saving countless lives. In Paris, the most ambitious agreement in history to fight climate change.
Bringing up climate change at a time like this, when 80 people were killed by terrorists, as if it's even in the same stratosphere of importance, is so ridiculous.
A new sustainable development set of goals to end extreme poverty.
Yeah, government will never end poverty. You can look at the statistics. Government spends more, poverty doesn't go down. Look at how much money goes into trying to fight poverty, the war on poverty, as it's commonly known. They've spent billions, trillions, actually, I mean, since it's been instituted, trillions of dollars trying to fight poverty, and they have gotten nowhere. They've gotten nowhere. Things have gotten worse since the government's been involved. So I don't even get why he's bringing that up. Nothing he's forged in the last 80 years has done dick to help poverty.
Promote health and education, and equality for all people, including women.
That's all I have to say. I mean, I can't even describe how moronic that is. Of course, women are, equal. Women are great, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we pander to this every fucking year. I mean, seriously, women are already equal. They already have all the rights men do. There's no such thing as the glass ceiling. Women are paid just as much as men. They just choose different lifestyles. I don't understand what he's talking about, establishing equality for women, and he's thanking all these random-ass countries. To my knowledge, Saudi Arabia is our ally, and they treat women like shit, so I don't think that point stands.
And through the efforts of many of you, we've continued to try to move beyond cold conflicts, supporting the transition to democracy in Burma, forging a new partnership in Vietnam, deepening our new chapter of engagement with the Cuban people.
I slightly agree with him on Cuba. The rest is washy with me. I don't really know enough about it to make a coherent opinion, to have a coherent opinion. But in terms of Cuba, I think it's a good thing we're opening relationships. I think we could have gotten a better deal in terms of what they change in their government. But nonetheless, I slightly agree with him.
Helping to support the efforts in Colombia to end decades-long conflict. That's the power of diplomacy. That's what's possible when our nations and our peoples work together in the spirit of mutual interest and mutual respect. And what a contrast to the death and nihilism that terrorists offer.
Yeah, I guess he's pointing out how diplomacy is better than taking military action, but in certain cases I disagree with him, like this one, when, you can't fight fire with fucking leaves and expect not to get burned. We're fighting fire with diplomacy with people who aren't willing to even come to the table remotely. You can only have a debate and a compromise if people are willing to come to the table, and I highly doubt ISIS terrorists are willing to come to the table, so I don't think diplomacy is going to work in this case.
Powerful reminder of the progress and opportunity and hope that we can advance when, as nations and as peoples and as individuals, we refuse to be defined by our differences alone. We remember that we are all part of one human race.
I don't even get what the fuck he's saying there. Of course, we're all one human race. Our differences do matter, and they do affect how we view each other. And this idea that we can all get along and sing Kumbaya, multiculturalism isn't going to work. Do any decent amount of research, realize why. But the point is, this idea of Kumbaya and we can all work together, there's no difference between us, is a bunch of bullshit.
this, that's what gives me hope. And that's what should give us all hope. Because on this planet of more than 7 billion people, the hatred and the violence of a few ultimately is no match for the love and decency and hard work of people of goodwill and compassion, so long as we stand up for those values.
Yeah, of course, the value of love and compassion is a great thing, but ultimately, the most strong emotion we have in our bodies, at least I'm pretty sure the most strong emotion people have, is fear. When people fear things, they don't have time to think about love and compassion. They're thinking about survival. They're thinking about how to fight back. Fear is a very powerful emotion. I don't think we should underestimate it, and I don't think you can weigh it as a love versus fear thing like he kind of did. It's not like that. It's a very dangerous thing.
So long as we answer those who would undermine those values. I'm very proud of the work that we've done over these last 7.5 years in partnership with the countries. So long as I have the privilege of being President of the United States, I will continue to stand alongside you for those values all across the country. Thank you very much, Rick.
Okay, so that'll finish up his speech. I don't completely disagree with him about the end part, how we should, stand together, but ultimately, I disagree with him on the fact that he thinks we can somehow stop terrorism. I don't think there's really any way to stop 100% of terrorism. I think we have to accept the fact that people who are hell-bent on committing crime, people who are hell-bent on causing array in the world are going to do so, and it's just something we have to stop trying to act as if we can control the world. This is like the Joker. This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. The immovable object is the government. The unstoppable force is anarchy. And there's nothing really we can do to stop these terrorists from committing crime. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked my commentary if you watched through the whole thing. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and that'll be all.